Hi, Michelle. How you doing? Okay, I was troubleshooting this file, and one of the things I found, this is interesting. You're going to find this very interesting. This is going to be a great lesson, though, because it's just such a perfect way to demonstrate. Okay, so what I'm talking about, as you're probably wondering, is this. Everything looks great. I think it was a great idea. If we go to your writing, you say you did something with the reflection of the fluorescent light. Good idea. That's been bugging me since day one because you shot it in Home Depot, right? There's fluorescent lights right above a reflective object. And there's still some reflections in here that are a little bit distracting, but it's nowhere near where it was. So great job there. Now, I'm looking around. I'm not seeing any damage. You've done a good job repairing with your dust and scratches, but I do want to show you something. One technique that I would recommend for moving forward, just a technique that will really preserve editability completely while you're doing your retouch and your restoration. And that technique is, yes, that it's a composite layer technique. I go to the top layer, I click Shift, Command, Option, and E, and that brings me the composite layer. Okay, so what can I do from here? Now, I mean, I can take that away. Nothing happens. But it's a composite layer that I can work on without affecting any of the layers below it. So, and even to take it a step further, we can add layers to this on top of this and show our sample all layers. And you can do your additional edits so that you can have maybe a healing brush layer and then a clone stamp layer. That way, if it's not working, you can just turn it off instead of turning off the whole layer. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's a really neat technique. Okay, so one of the things I would recommend, let me get rid of that just to prevent any confusion. Oh, the main thing I see is this, is that there's a mask that's not clipped somewhere. And I did a little detective work and I found it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I think that the image this is a high key image, meaning there's a lot of reflective objects. It's light in color. It's very, very light during the day, which means you're getting a ton of high key tonal values, meaning up at the white range of the histogram. What does that mean? It means it's too bright. It means it's showing that it has signs of overexposure. Now we can fix that. And what I was going to do is I was going to isolate the background layer and I was going to mask out just the stones and then run an adjustment layer on just the stones to darken those up a little bit. I was going to demonstrate that, but before I did, I went to isolate the background layer by coming to the background layer, and I option clicked on on the background layer to remove everything but that background layer. And I noticed that, look how it lightens up when I remove the background, when I isolate the background. That indicates to me that the background was at one time a lot darker than it's indicating. Okay, so when I turn that off, I come to these levels here that you have, this level 3 and the hue saturation. Okay, and I see that the image is pretty good. It's a little dark, but it's got some good, really good tonal value, excellent tonal value. But when I bring back the other layers, something lightens up completely. Let me show you what I mean by bringing back all the layers. Okay, there it was. And that's how I found it. It's levels 1 and it's not clipped to anything. Okay, so let me just bring back everything and we'll take a closer look at that. Okay, so I remember I said it's levels 1. You've got more than one. Let me see, you've got levels 4. It was levels 1. Okay, yeah, look how much nicer that looks. What it looks like what you did is you try to add a levels adjustment layer to probably just the leg, but you forgot to clip it. So it affects all the layers below it. Now let me clip it and see what the result is there. Yep, that looks like exactly what you were, yeah, you were trying to target the leg below, leg 2. But it looks like you forgot to clip it to that layer. So that's why we were getting that global adjustment based on your adjustment layer that was presumably directed towards one layer. Okay, everything else looks great. The restoration looks great. Wood, I think the wood looks, there's no real, I mean, there's a couple of areas you could really technically maybe bring those little spots right there out. Nah, but I don't know because that's kind of the charm of that old wood. It's all cracked, so I'd leave it alone. Sky looks good, no dust, no wrinkles, no scratches. Looking good. One thing I did notice, one additional thing I noticed is this. If we zoom into the plant for the hair, we come in here and we see that the mask itself could be further refined, most definitely. So think about that. And while you're thinking about that, let me show you a very cool technique that you can address that. Okay, so I'm on the hair layer, right? So if I go to the hair layer and I make sure I'm on the thumbnail, and you see the little thumbnail's got a frame around it. If I'm the layer itself, the layer has that little outside frame, but I want to be on the thumbnail for the mask, okay? Now I'm on the mask. I can just come to my paintbrush tool and make sure that I'm using black because black hides pixels. And I can just come here and paint on that mask to improve it. Look at that. The background comes right through. We get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. There's the sky in the background. And that's how you would do a fine-tune that particular mask. You can paint right on the mask. So those gray spots that should be showing the sky, and I'm just going quick here, so you would, of course, presumably go a little bit slower. And really, so, and then if we back off, we can see that, yes, that's pretty cool because now you can see the mask right through the leaves. See? Pretty cool, huh? There's some other areas back there too. You'll be able to tell it seems like the background was gray. So definitely refine the mask. Other than that, I think you're looking phenomenal. Really good job. Refine the mask and fix that one weird levels adjustment layer. It was levels 1 that wasn't clipped. And yeah, all right. Good job. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.